Hello and welcome to Vision Academy. In this video, we are going to learn copy constructor. Copy constructor is a parameterized constructor which is used to assign or copy from one object to another object is called copy constructor. So let us write the definition. Copy constructor is a parameterized constructor using which one object can be copied to another. So let us begin understanding the situation in which the copy constructor is used. The first one is initialize one object from another of the same type. Copy an object to pass it as an argument to a function. Copy an object to return it from a function. Now, let us take a programming example. Let us begin with hash include in an angular brace. We'll write iostream.h header file, and the next preprocessor directive is hash include in an angular brace. We will write console input output.h header file. Now we are going to write a class called copy. So class is a keyword. It should be written in lowercase letter. Copy is a valid identifier class name. Curly open brace, and here in a private section I'm going to write int n and put semicolon. Here in a public section we are going to define a constructor. So constructor is a special member function which is used to initialize data members of the class, and here the characteristics features, or I can say the rules for writing constructor is the constructor name should be same as that of the class name, and it should not return any type, not even void. So hence we have to write here copy, and inside the round bracket I'm going to pass one argument. For example, I'll take int x, curly open brace, and here the data member is n, that is going to be initialized with the help of this constructor. So here we have got the argument x. So x is going to initialize to variable n. Now we are going to have a user defined function that is called int calculate without any arguments. And now curly open brace, here I am going to declare some local variable of type integer. I'll write fact and then I. Now I'm going to initialize fact value with 1. Now we are going to use the iterative statement for loop. So for I is equal to 1, because in order to find the factorial of a number we have to stop multiplying at 1. So that's the reason I is equal to 1. Next put semicolon, I is less than or equal to n, and then I plus plus. Here we are going to write the statement that is to be executed repeatedly is fact is equal to fact into I, and then put semicolon. Here we have got the return type integer, hence we have to write a return. So we have to return this fact. Here I'm going to write fact and put semicolon, then curly closing brace for this function definition. Now we'll go for curly closing brace of this class definition and put semicolon. That indicates it's a termination point of a class definition. Now we have to create the object of this class, and immediately this parameterized copy constructor will get invokes, and here we have to call this particular function explicitly. Now let us write main function, void main curly open brace. Now I'm going to declare a variable called n, and now I'm going to write clr function. So this is optional. If you want to write, you can write, otherwise you can leave it. So let us write cout and ask the user to enter the number. In a double quotation mark, I'll write enter the number, and the double quotation mark and put semicolon. So we will receive the input from the user using scene stream extraction operator, and we'll take n over here. Next, I'm going to write here name of the class, copy. Then I'm going to use obj object, and we're going to pass this particular variable as an argument to the constructor. Now we are going to create one more object of the same type called cpy, and it is equated with obj. So hence object is copied. Now we are going to write the cout statement. In a double quotation mark, I'm going to write before copying end the double quotation mark n, and in a double quotation mark I'll write exclamation mark, that is be read as factorial. N factorial is equal to, then I have to write stream insertion operator, and here I'm going to write obj dot calculate, obj dot calculate, and I'm going to write open and close parenthesis stream insertion operator and l, and put semicolon. So similarly, I'm going to write one more cout statement after copying. So in a double quotation mark, I'm going to write after copying, and the double quotation mark n factorial is equal to stream insertion operator. Now I'm going to use the second object called cpy. I'll write here cpy dot calculate, round opening and closing braces, and then you put semicolon. Here I'm going to write get ch function, then curly closing brace. Now let us check out the result. Once we compile and run this program, it will ask the user to enter the number. Here I'm going to write enter the number. Suppose I'm going to enter 5. So this value will be stored in a variable called n. Next, obj of n. So this is 5, and this is the object, and it is called a implicit call to the constructor. So in turn, x is initialized to n. Now we have got obj is equated to cpy, that is another object of the same class. To see out before copying n factorial, that is 5 factorial is equal to will be displayed. So 5 factorial is equal to will be displayed as it is obj dot calculate. So immediately control transfers to this user defined function. Now you can see int fact I, and fact is equal to 1. For I is equal to 1, I is less than or equal to n, I plus plus. And just because of this iterative statement, this particular statement will get executed repeatedly. So here I value is 1, 1 is less than or equal to n value is 5. So 1 is less than or equal to 5. Yes, condition is true, then it is going to calculate fact is equal to, fact is 1 for the first time here. Next, into I value for the first time it is 1. So 1 into 1 is 1. Once again, control transfers to this for loop by incrementing the value of I by 1. Now I value is 2. 2 is less than or equal to 5. Yes, it is true. Once again, this particular statement will get executed. So fact is equal to, fact is 1 into I value is 2. So 1 2s are 2. So once again, by incrementing the value of I by 1, now I value is 3. Control transfers to for loop. 3 is less than or equal to 5. Yes, it is true. Once again, this statement will get executed. So fact is equal to, fact is now 2 into I is 3. 2 3s are 6. Once again, it is going to increment the value of I by 1. Now I value is 4. Control transfers to for loop. 4 is less than or equal to 5. Yes, it is true. Once again, this condition will get executed. I'm going to write here, fact is equal to, fact into I. Fact is 6 into I is 4. So 6 4s are 24. Once again, it increments the value of I by 1. Now I value is 5. So is 5 less than or equal to 5? Yes, it is true. Once again, this particular statement will get executed. So fact is equal to, fact is 24 into I is 5. So this gives me 120. So it is going to return fact value 120 back to this calling function. So after this, second cout statement will get executed. So here 5 factorial is equal to 120 after copying. So it is going to print after copying n factorial, that is 5 factorial is equal to 120 will be printed. Let us go for executing this program. Here you can see I have already written this program to save your time. Let us compile this program by pressing Alt F9. Here it is going to show the warning. It is just because this iterative statement is written inside of the class definition. So just ignore this warning and go for executing this program by pressing Ctrl F9. Here you can see it is asking the user to enter the number. I'm going to enter 5 and press enter. Here you can see before copying 5 factorial is equal to 120 and after copying 5 factorial is equal to 120.